Please be seated. Once again, let us all recollect the kindness of the Triple Jewels and the teacher. And with a gratitude in heart, let us place our palms together to request Geshe to give teaching according to the well wishes and capacities of the students. Geshe, kindly give us the teaching.
I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Joda Zogisho Dani Gyapso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Dola Penjir Sanye Dubaresho Sanye Joda Zogisho Namla Chanjo Bardo Dani Gyapso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Dola Benjir Sanye Dubaresho Sanye Joda Zoge Shonam Chanjo Bado Dane Gyapso She Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamge Dola Benjir Sanye Dubaresho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayam Evam Vati Mahashramana Yeswa Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Jayo Nirodha Elavati Mahashramana Yeswa Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetum Tesham Dathagato Yavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramana Yeswa. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes is what is taught by the great seer. Okay, this morning we are talking of all composite things are impermanent. And impermanence is of two kinds: gross impermanence, subtle impermanence. And so with this, there's subtle impermanence. Gross impermanence. What is gross impermanence? Anyone? What is gross impermanence? Impermanence whose continuum comes to an end or whose continuum terminates. For example, like your youth, or 2024, or for example, say for us, for example, when I was young, I remember I was age 12 or 13, where my eyesight used to be extremely, yes, all of us had the experience when we were very young, your eyes are so good to see even the very small letters. I remember that my friend, that I was talking about, the one who asked me if what he can send from USA. So I said a big poster of Albert Einstein, and it never came. But he gave me the small Webster's English dictionary, and I did not know how to use that. But I'm always proud of that. I always keep it with me. And then my classmate, who was extremely intelligent, and of course, one, he's very intelligent. Number two, that exposure is just amazing for him. All his uncles and so forth, they're very educated. So therefore, for holidays, when we were for 3 months, when the small children went, for us, we were always in dirt, and he was with his uncle studying all these things. So that way, this dictionary, he would say, Dorji, borrow me a dictionary. And then I'm like his bookkeeper. And then he used it, and I say, where's my book? Give him a dictionary. So my job is just to keep him like his assistant. And I think that this is my book. And he's using it, I'm keeping it. So this was why I said it. Okay, so look, one day I took this dictionary to my father's place. And my father picked it up, and it was very cute. He picked it up, and he just flips it. He doesn't know how to read. He is very illiterate. And the letters are too tiny, he could not distinguish. So he was, are there really letters there? He then gave it to me, back to me, said, my son, read it. I just flipped it and read it very fast, but I didn't know what's the meaning all there. I read it and was so fascinated. He said that you have such a sharp eyes. Then when I hit age 40s, then all the smaller I cannot read. I need to have the glasses. So what I'm saying is that those very sharp, bright eyes, impermanent, gone. They'll not come back in this life. This is impermanent. So this is what the Buddha is. And where do we go when you think of these things? So it's for this reason the Buddha taught that youth is followed by old age. Good health is followed by sickness. And what gathers and disperses, and what is born dies. This is what the Buddha taught. And it's reality. It's a reality. So we need to concentrate on these things. So then comes to the subtle impermanence. What is subtle impermanence? Momentariness, the quality of momentariness of all the composite phenomena. Okay, so with this, we also give the example of how possibly the change has been happening, like the brocade, very expensive brocade, 500 years old, and you touch it and it goes in dust. Okay, so with these are things that we need to contemplate. We must learn how to just get the opportunity, take these situations, and your mind goes into automatically goes into analysis. That is something so precious. If we build this habit in this life, in the next life, these things will happen. For example, ye dharma hetu prabhava. Ye dharma hetu. All these phenomena arise from causes, and causes are taught by the Tathagata, which means that they don't follow blindly. Things happen because of the respective causes conditions. If you want to enjoy mangoes, don't plant bitter gourd seed. Bitter gourd seed, planting bitter gourd seed, don't expect mangoes to grow because things are determined by the respective causes. So, say if you want to enjoy mangoes, plant mango trees, plant mango seeds. If you want to enjoy apples, plant apple seeds. So this is what we need to be convinced of. In this life, recite this mantra. While reciting mantra, don't expect that some magic happens. There's no magic. The real magic is that your understanding, conviction, that cause and effect is efficacious. Where you do something good, virtuous results will happen. Where you do something wrong, only wrong things will happen. So this conviction we must get through, and that this recognition must go deeper, deeper, deeper in our core of existence. That no matter how many thousands of people tell you, okay, see, there's a magic flower on Dorji Damdul's table, magic flower on the Dorji Damdul's table, and you wave it like this, and your bank account will increase. Your bank account, the money will increase. Even if 1,000 people tell you this, even Albanese comes and tell you this, don't believe. This is not how the cause and effect works. You're getting it? So cause and effect, the efficacy of the cause and effect, the confidence in the cause and effect, that is something we must need to build in our mind, and that must be so well ingrained in our mind. That is very important. Okay, so with this, the subtle impermanence, the momentariness involved. Now, with the momentariness, let's say that we think of, say, that this growth. We plant the tree somewhere next to the temple here, the monastery. What is that? The hall, the Buddha hall. Plant a tree where there's no tree now. You plant the sapling of the tree, and in 10 years' time, 2035, we come back here. Oh, Dasana, thank you, so professional done. Thank you, Dasana. Yeah. Oh, so professional done. Dasana, thank you. Okay, so that tree, let's say in 10 years' time, 2035, we all come back again. It so happens that we come back together, and then suddenly you see that, and then many of us, all these young people with black hairs, after 10 years, white hairs are popping up. You're getting it? Hey, young boys and girls, don't think that your hairs are going to be black all the time. Once upon a time, we also had the black hairs. And now white hairs are popping up. Right? So after 10 years, 2035, then the white hairs are popping up in these. What happened to you? You used to have a perfect black hair. What happened? Oh, aging. 10 years. Okay. So here we see that the 10 feet tall tree. And you say, oh, last time we were here, no tree was there. How come? You were surprised. What surprise? Surprise meaning which was non-existent. Suddenly you saw a huge tree, 10 feet tall tree. This is surprise. But for those people like the Rajinder and others, it's not a surprise because they've been seeing this every day. But for us, we saw only two things. One, no tree, barren, plant the sapling, and suddenly there's a big tree. So this is a huge difference. You say surprise. What is this? Is it that for the last 9 months, 9 years, 11 months, and 29 days, this sapling was sleeping, and suddenly, tomorrow comes 10 years, so I have to grow. Pop. Is this how it grows? No. Every year, 1 foot growth. Again, the first year, 1 foot tall tree. Is it that for the last 11 months and 29 days, sleeping, I said, tomorrow comes 1 year, I have to grow. Again, pop. No. Every month it is growing inch by inch. So, say the 1 inch growth in 1 month is because of the growth. The growth meaning change. Change happening within the span of a day. And the change that you see in 1 day is possible because the change that happened in 1 hour, 24 hours, 1 hour, hour by hour. Change you see in the hour is possible because the change that you see in the minute. So don't jump from the 10 years to millisecond. Go gradually, 10 years, to 1 year, to 1 month, to 1 week, to 1 day, to 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 second. Go like this gradually. Then your mind can really experience or feel the impermanence. And then go down to the second, on the second level. On the second level, okay, look at this wall. This wall is also changing. Do you see the wall changing, moving? We don't see that because our eyes are so gross. But in reality, it is changing. Just as this tree is changing, hour by hour, minute by minute, second by second, millisecond by millisecond is changing. So without these small changes, the big change, like the change within the span of 1 year, 10 years, is not possible. So we have to do like this. This is how we meditate on subtle impermanence. And we have to meditate. If we don't meditate, intellectually we'll understand that, but experientially the feeling of urgency will not come. So the contemplating on how things are impermanent, this is so important. Gross impermanence, we have to meditate on this. With the gross impermanence, then we have to gradually move to the subtle impermanence. This is also extremely important. With the subtle impermanence, then we see that, okay, this is how things, then say 1 second split into 100 divisions or 1,000 divisions. 1,000 divisions is milliseconds. So on a millisecond, forget about millisecond. Even on the 1 second split into 10 divisions, 100, most of the mobiles, if you press the timer, you must press it. The timer, stopwatch, you have to press it and see how the digits move. Did you ever press it? Raise hands. Raise hands. Who press it and how does it? Hey, Yodoga, did you press the timer? Not today. Somewhere. Really? Or Instagram? You don't know. That's amazing. Okay. Okay, now instead of Instagram, press the timer more. Timer and the stopwatch more to see how the digits move. You're getting it? So this is how that tree was moving. This is how your body's moving. Your body's moving. Once upon a time, it's a tiny flesh. The day when you were born, it's a tiny flesh. Now, a big person. This change has been happening like this. We don't see this, but it's reality. This is subtle impermanence. It's so important for us to meditate on this. And if we succeed in this meditation, sometimes for such meditations, it's so important for us. For example, like particularly I would say the Geshe who already, they studied all these things. What Geshe is doing is just amazing, really helping but so many youngsters through the Flowering Dharma. So particularly, and all of us, we're doing the studies, many of you are doing the Nalanda courses and so forth. It's so important for us once in a while, to sit for some personal retreats. Like, say, if possible, like 1 week, 2 weeks, or 1 month, and so forth. And then, meanwhile, I would say, generally speaking, make sure that even if you sit for personal retreat, keep a separate time for studies. Your study is so important. Every day we have to study something. Personally, to be very honest, say for me, although I don't really get time to study separately, I am very fortunate. Even to give these teachings, I have to prepare, I have to think. I'm constantly studying. And NMC, Nalanda Master's Course, I have to study them like, otherwise, if I'm to study it on my own, how I would invest my time, energy, versus how I'm preparing for the class. It's going to be 2 times, 3 times. Because I have to make sure that the concepts are conveyed to the audience in the easiest way. I have to think twice. So therefore, I'm very lucky in that, from that point of view, that I'm constantly in touch with my studies to expand my knowledge. Yes, it's tremendously beneficial. So likewise, for Geshe and for Professor here, and for all of us, to keep a separate time for studies, very important. Meanwhile, when I say personal practice, personal retreat, means like, say for example, 1 week, 2 weeks, or if time allows, like 1 month or so. If not, even long weekend is also good. Long weekend, like 3 days, 4 days. If nothing is really happening, even 2 days is also fine. Say Saturday, Sunday, even that is also good. So then you cut off from your mobile and tell your, tell those people who are really, really, really concerned about you, who really worries about you, if you don't call them, inform them in advance that I'm sitting for personal retreat. So don't worry that if I don't get back to you, don't worry, I'm in a personal retreat. And then make sure that your food, everything is well taken care of. And then the others just cut off your mobile from the others. And others they will also not worry about you. Don't worry. So there are many friends which are unrelated. There's only few friends who really worry about you. Some of your family members will worry about you. So for them, you inform them in advance. This is what is happening. And then for 2-3 days or 1 week, 2 weeks, then you said cut off from others and then contemplate on this meditation impermanence. And do that. And if you're lucky, most likely you may get a feeling of impermanence, subtle impermanence. If that happens, initially it can be quite scary. Quite scary to see that even the walls are like moving like your body moving like this. Anything, all composite phenomena that you are seeing around, they all move so fast. It can be quite scary. At the same time, on a tinge of the fear that you may feel, this is so precious. This is so precious. This will drive you. This will drive you into very effectively into the Dharma. Gade para samgade bodhiso. Otherwise, our Dharma practice is like, okay, so today I'm a little tired. I would rather go out for cheesecake with my friends. Like the seriousness is not there. So therefore, once in a while, these practices are so important. If you do consider setting for these retreats, personal retreats, then the impermanence must be complemented or must be associated with the practice of the second seal. All contaminated things are suffering nature. So these two things must go together. And I would say the one out of okay, near, how are you? Good. Okay. 1 out of 1,000 person may feel a great fear. If that happens, don't worry too much, and they say, see if you have some real Dhamma practitioners, learned, experienced, compassionate. I'm always adding this word. Which word I'm adding? Compassionate. Because even if so learned, experienced, but when the compassion is lacking, may not help you as much. May just say the sideline you very easily, saying that, whereas learned, experienced, and compassionate will value what you're doing, and what you're doing so precious. Okay, so with this, and then this is how we need to meditate impermanence. Now imagine that you reach to that level whereby you see that all the composite phenomena, they move so fast. So fast. So, seeing is believing. You must, after this class, not now, after this class, press your stopwatch or timer button and see how it moves. Some of your mobiles, it is designed 1 second split into 10 divisions, where the digits will be more visible, and 1 second split into 100. The digits are, you can just get start of a digit, and the next more it moves, it's like this, and then what is really left is nothing left, no imprint is left. So if it's very strange feeling can come to you, you must press that, to feel what is like impermanence, subtle impermanence. So this is how all the composite phenomena, they are moving that fast, like this reality. So with this in mind, now just imagine that you have reached to that level of the realization where all composite things are moving so fast. If that is the case, then imagine that you will feel as though like you are thrown into a very fast moving train. How many of you have been into a very fast moving train? Raise hands. Very fast moving train. Raise hands. How many have never been into fast moving train? Never been. Ajirji, never been.
Yeah.
Yes, never been. What about those people who did not really raise hand? Been, not been. Okay, so if you're not been there, you must go there. You must take a train ride, very fast train ride. Particularly, say you feel a little sleep, and then sleep is disturbed, right? So just see what's the sound like. In fact, I was maybe early 20s. In 20s, the train ride from Damdul, from Pathankot to South India. I had many of these experiences in the daytime when you sleep. Then the impermanence, the fear of the impermanence is hitting because of the sound of the train so fast. Then it connects me to the impermanence. All composite things are impermanent. Okay, this is how we need to connect. Any experiences connect with some Dharma experiences, they'll be so precious. So imagine that you are thrown into a very fast moving train by a stranger, in a very fast moving train. What do you feel?
Scary.
Very scary. Very scary. Why fear? Why? Why? Prashant? Why fear? Huh? Okay, impermanence. Okay, they're good. And here, your name? Our music. Your name, Rahul. Tell me. Or you see, Rahul is a musician. So you will hear this sound as music?
Depends.
Okay.
And where I am, basically.
Okay, say you're thrown into a very fast-moving train by an unknown person.
I might not get a chance to think then. If it is too
No,
fast.
you're still in the train.
Okay, no, I mean to say, if I'm...
You're thrown in the train, and you're in the train is moving so fast, and you have the chance to think, because you are right, the train takes you for like 3 hours.
So I'll just enjoy the rhythm. I'll definitely gonna enjoy the rhythm of the train.
Okay, because he's a musician, he sees this music. Okay, anyone else? Okay, yes, Елена.
Из-за звука в таком поезде теряется ощущение себя.
Venerable Geshe, due to the sound of the train, I may lose the feeling of myself.
Very good. Anyone else? Very quick to make. Okay, gentleman over there. Your name? Jogi. Yes.
Yes. So there may be fear of something going wrong and I may die.
Yes.
I mean, there's a possibility is there.
Okay, how many you would, no doubt you'll feel so much of fear. Particularly, the faster the train moves, more the fear. Raise hands. Faster the train moves, more the fear. Because why? Because? Yes, Kate.
There is no control.
Okay, there's no control. Yes. Anyone else raise hands? Yes, Dola.
Or we may get accident or
Accident, don't worry. There's a driver there. Still, there's a fear. Because you've never been there, so you don't understand it. Sergey, you raise hand? Sergey.
Yes, Geshe, one of the fears is I don't know where this train go.
We don't know where this train is going. You are getting it? We don't know where this train is going. And who decides where the train is going?
Right.
Hey, the girl there. Who decides where the train is taking you? Yes. Who decides where the train is going?
Definitely not me.
Oh, no, definitely not you. Who decides?
Who decides? I guess whoever organized this train, the driver,
Train driver. How many, your name?
Maria.
Oh, how many agree with Maria? Train driver decides. Okay, look. If the train driver is a mother, lucky, he'll take you to a picnic spot. If the train driver is a terrorist, finish. He'll take you to a slaughterhouse. You getting it? So that we don't know where the train is taking us. So particularly if you know that train driver is a terrorist, the faster the train moves, the more scary. So in our case, what is it? Who's the train driver? Our mind is the train driver. Our mind takes us. And where is this mind taking us? This mind, is it like terrorist or your mom? So this mind per se is neutral. But our mind is under the dictate of the terrorists. For example, like, say, 2012, 2000? When is the Twin Towers collapse? 2001. 2011.
2001.
September 11, 2001. 2001, September 11. The pilots, they're not terrorists, but the pilots were under the dictate of the terrorists. You're getting it? So our mind, if that is under the dictate of the terrorists, finish, like these aeroplanes hitting the Twin Towers. Our mind, unfortunately, it is under the dictate of the worst of the terrorists. What is the second line? What is the second seal? All contaminated are the nature of, all contaminated things are the nature of suffering. So our mind is contaminated. So where our mind is contaminated, our driver like our mind, when it is contaminated, it only takes us to miseries. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. You getting it? Now the next is, what is meant by contaminated? Don't leave things loose, don't leave things. So try your best not to leave, not leaving stones, not leaving any stones unturned. You're getting it? So what is meant by contaminated? Don't just, contaminated means something is stained. These are all technical things. We have to know very precisely. All contaminated things are suffering nature. Contaminated means there should be contamination. Contaminations will contaminate. Then things become contaminated. To know what is contaminated, we need to know what is contamination. Contamination means afflictions, anger, attachment, ignorance, jealousy. These afflictions are known as contaminations. So, things which are influenced by contaminations, things which are influenced by afflictions are known as contaminated. So our mind is contaminated by the contaminations. So what is contaminated? Our mind being contaminated, it will have to go through the miseries. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. Okay, so the Buddha taught, ye dharma hid. Now look, they're all connected. So whereas if you don't learn systematically, so here, the good thing about these retreats is that within a very short span of time, we have like 3 sessions a day, plus morning session 4, plus 2 group discussions 7, plus optional 8. So and that too continuously, without break. So there's the constant, there's a flow of the momentum. There's a momentum of the learning. And then within a short span of time, we learn things so fast, very meticulously and systematically. So this is a benefit of these retreats. Whereas like, one lecture today, one lecture next week. So this can be it'll have a break. And your thought, the flow is interrupted. Okay. So with this in mind, what is contaminated will only take us to miseries. This is what the Buddha taught us. Ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato hyavatat. All these phenomena arise from the causes, and what the causes are is taught by the Tathagata, by the Buddhas. Okay. So, keeping this in mind, say we want happiness. We don't want miseries. But if we plant, if we engage in wrong causes, then the miseries will ensue. If we engage in good causes, happiness will ensue. This is the law of cause and effect. Yes. So this is meaning of all contaminated things of suffering nature. So contaminated meaning. What is contaminated by the contaminations? And the contaminations mean? What does mean by contaminations mean? Things which are influenced by afflictions. Contamination is affliction, and contaminated is things which are influenced by the afflictions. Very good. So what is influenced by the afflictions will invariably take us to miseries. Okay. What kind of miseries are there? This is the thing. Okay, anyone? What kind of miseries are there? Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. Okay, Prosk.
У нас есть 3 вида страданий. Это страдание страданий, страдание изменчивости и всепроникающее страдание обусловленности.
There are 3 types of suffering. They are suffering of change, and pervasive conditioned suffering.
Okay, how many agree with Prosk? Raise hands. Oh, we all agree. Good. Okay, quick, somebody. What do you understand by suffering of suffering? The first one, suffering of suffering. Anyone? Quick, to save time. Anyone? Okay, Maxim. Raise hand, Maxim. Raise hand, raise hand. Raise hand. Yes.
Geshe, это физически.
Particularly, I would say those who are beginners. Because when you say suffering, 3 kinds, they are very technical. You're getting it? They are very technical. Because they're technical, we cannot guess. So oftentimes people read books and they don't know the technicalities. Then guesswork comes in. But the guesswork clarity is missing. So, say many of them, they already study these things technically. So particularly the newcomers, please make sure that you learn the technical aspects. Yes, Maxim?
Страдания – это непосредственное переживаемые страдания физические и душевные, ментальные.
Suffering of suffering, it is the obvious suffering of our physical and mental.
Okay, so how many agree with what Maxim said? Raise hands. Yes, this is a very technical concept. Suffering means any manifest, obvious suffering, physical and mental, which anybody can easily identify as suffering. For example, like sadness. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. This is suffering which anybody identifies as suffering. So, suffering which is obvious suffering, which anybody identifies as suffering, is known as suffering of suffering. You're getting it? Okay, can we get some examples very quick? Some examples? Suffering which are so obvious that anybody identifies as suffering. Yes, Prashant? Just say it very quickly. No mic. Mental pain, very good. Anyone else? Quick, save time. Headache, very good. Anyone else?
Losing our loved
losing the loved one. Yeah, this is acutely painful. Anyone else? Just speak up, quick, to save time. Yes, Dorji. Huh? Huh? Separation.
Moment of departing.
Okay. Moment departing, there are many things. Divorce is all the one thing. Huh? Huh? Umbrella term. Some departures are very good. Yeah, some separation is very good. You say, Baba, I'm so fed up with you now. Thank you. Baba, separation is very good. Sometimes your mom, your dad, and somebody who you love so much, and then you have to separate. So painful. Sometimes so beautiful. You want to separate. Finally, right? Some people, they're fed up in the house. They're fed up in the house. They go out, and they say, you're getting it. Separation is very good sometimes. Okay, good. More examples? Sickness. Nobody wants sickness. Nobody wants sickness. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else? Quick.
Some people not getting what we want.
Like what?
Like if you want to become something, but then you
Don't make it too vague. Something. Always something. Don't say something. Be very precise. What do you want? Yes. Don't say maybe. Look, this girl is maybe something. Okay, I'm tired.
okay, like for poor people who want
I'm asking you about you. I'm not about to poor people. Look, it's keeping very the secret.
I want to become a doctor, but then I couldn't able to become, so yeah, that's kind of fun.
Is it true or just a fake cooking up? What are you doing now? Oh, okay. Okay, okay, it's fine. Okay, here.
Disappeared and report.
Unrequited love.
Huh?
When you love somebody, but the other person does not love you back.
Why? It seems like this topic is something very exciting. Everybody's laughing. Why?
Old age.
Because it's so painful, right? This is one of the best examples of pain. Okay, anyone else? Quick. The boy over there. Your name? Siri Samdrup. Yes.
It's a painful.
Money is the problem? Lack of money is the problem? Which one? Lack of money. For some people, lack of money is good. For example, like Zabadru Rinpoche. Zabadru Rinpoche, the author of the text,
My perfect.
was upon perfect teacher. The author of this text was a perfect teacher. Where he sits, people come to know his presence, they will come to make lots of offering. Right? At the moment he sees this offering, he's so fed up, he leaves. You're getting it? So therefore, lack of money is what he's craving for. He loves lack of money. So, your name Samto. If somebody is in place of the Zabur, you're very happy. I know.
Everyone would be.
Not everybody. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Quick. Kunsel. Suffering old age. Okay. So although she's very young, she could imagine that, okay, I have to prepare this class now, and then mentally grow stronger. Mentally, so that when I grow old, physically, old age problem is going to be there. But I should not become a grumpy old lady. You're getting it? Likewise, Dorji, I shouldn't be a grumpy old man. Right? How? Train your mind, train your mental consciousness, so that physically you will be in problem. Nobody can save you. Physically, you will be a problem, but mentally, you can protect yourself now, from now on. Okay, gentlemen, with your name? Pankajji, yes.
Over expectations from others.
Over expectation, yes. Over expectation from others. This is a huge problem. So, therefore, in the Mahayana teachings, the Bodhisattva teachings, it is taught that all the virtues that we do it without expectation in return. You're getting it? All virtues to be done without expectation in return. Do things without any expectation. You're getting it? The moment expectation is attached to it, then number one, your virtues become so least effective. And number two, that's going to be attached with the pain. When the other person does not reciprocate, then you will go into pain, acutely painful. Yes. Okay, so these are the many examples of the air. Very good. What is next? Suffering change. Okay. Is there anybody who likes to explain to us what is suffering change? Is there anybody like, okay, we cannot guess, this is a technical thing. Okay, Prashant?
Like when someone gets a new phone or just mails to it, he gets very happy, but that happiness will end after some time.
Okay, can you be more precise? To somebody getting a new mobile phone, temporarily is a happiness, and this happiness ends up into more problem. Is what I'm saying? Okay, Prashant, to speak through the mic. Say it again. Say it again.
When someone gets a new phone,
yes,
he is very happy.
Yes.
But after 5 days, 10 days, slowly that happiness will decrease. After 1 month, that happiness will decrease very much. Slowly, it is changing.
Okay, so what is the suffering change?
Like
The happiness decreasing suffering change, or getting mobile is suffering change, or what is suffering change?
that happiness is decreasing. So
Okay,
that is
decrease in the happiness, that is suffering change.
That is suffering, yeah.
Of change. Okay, good. Okay, gentleman here, your name? Alexei. Raise your hand. Yes. Alexei here. Okay.
Добрый день еще раз всем. Страдание изменчивости – это страдание загрязненных добродетелей. То есть это, например, вот сейчас был приведен один пример, можно привести другой еще пример. То есть, например, чашка кофе. То есть, когда она есть, нам кофе нравится, мы выпили, мы получили удовольствие. А в какой-то момент нам кофе захотелось, а его нету. И мы страдаем от отсутствия этого блага загрязненного.
Suffering of change is the suffering of the contaminated virtues. For example, a cup of coffee. Right now, I have a cup of coffee. I'm drinking it and I'm enjoying it. But the next moment, let's say like a few moments later, I want to drink coffee again, but I don't have it. So that's why, and thereby I feel suffering. So it's a suffering of change. And I describe it as a suffering of the contaminated virtues.
Okay. So my question to all these, again, I'm not challenging. So all of us listen to this. What kind of question am I asking? So these questions will help us to make the thoughts, make the concepts clear. Okay, my question is, which is suffering change? Getting the first coffee, or second day not getting the coffee? Which is suffering change? Which one? Because you shared with us several episodes. One episode where you got the coffee. Second episode you don't get the coffee. Which is one? Suffering change. Which is one? This is the question. Which is one? First one or the second one? The yes, yes.
Я думаю, что здесь самое главное – это твое отношение к этому кофе, насколько ты к нему привык, насколько ты от него зависим. Если ты выпил кофе, и да, тебе хорошо, но если у тебя нету кофе, и у тебя не возникает зависимости от этого кофе, тебе также сохраняется хорошее состояние, то здесь все окей. Вот, соответственно, это состояние, ну, наверное, как бы твое отношение к этому предмету, к этой добродетели. Соответственно, то есть это не то, чтобы в начале и в конце, а, наверное, в принципе, то есть как бы твое отношение в целом.
And I'm sure that, what's your name, Alexei? I'm sure that Alexei didn't give my answer. Although I don't understand Russian, but I'm sure he didn't give me the answer. My answer is very simple. First or second. It doesn't require many words.
Shall I translate?
Yes.
I'm not so sure I got Alexei's answer. I'm sorry. So just what I understood, it's Alexei is saying that suffering of change. It is not the first episode. It is not the second episode either. It can be described as just like as a whole. It is your whole attitude to the experience of drinking coffee as itself. So something like that.
Okay, lady here, Pamela, here, raise hand. Yeah, raise hand. Yes, here.
Уважаемый Гешела, я думаю, что это первый эпизод, потому что страдание изменчивости — это все мирское счастье, это то, что приносит сначала удовольствие, но затем неизбежно будет страдание.
Venerable Geshe, I think it is the first episode. So the suffering of change is like the first moment when it was described like a person drinking a cup of coffee. And why it is suffering of change? Because all suffering of change is mundane happiness. And why it is suffering? Because the next moment it changes to the because then it is mundane happiness, and why it is suffering? Because the next moment it changes to suffering.
Okay, thank you so much. Your name? So what Angelica said puts together the complete meaning of suffering and change. I'm very happy. Okay, is there anybody senior? Any senior meaning who have been in the Dhamma for long to tell us what is suffering of change? Raise hands. Okay, let's say Kate. Kate, raise hand.
Suffering of change, I think I agree with the person just gave an answer. That happiness just the first moment changes into suffering later on.
Okay, Omar. Omar.
Two-part suffering and change. Suffering, any mundane happiness that is acting as the bait to steal our time in samsara. And change invariably changes into suffering of suffering. So there's always...
Okay, I'm so glad that the Kate, Omar, the answer that you gave is so good. And the Angelica answer given is so good. And Ajirji, now I know the secret of why many of these classes, the seniors are disappearing. Now I know the reason. Okay. So look, what Angelica said, what Kate said, what the Omar said, this is just a perfect answer. Okay, so usually people get little, they bring up, for example, let's say that, okay, let's say a person tells you that I want a book which contains the Sadhisthamba Sutra, Raya Seating Sutra. Then somebody brings 100 books. Does it help or it doesn't help? We say, why not? I want only a short. I want only one the sutra, which is very short, only 5 pages. Oh no, maybe it has 15 pages. And then I say, I want that. And then somebody brings me like 10 books, right? It's just 20 pages. And he bringing 10 books. In one of the books it is there. Is it useful or not useful? Why not? Yes, it's working. Oh, it is message. Good.
So in my understanding, Geshe-la, is because you're looking for something which is very small and easy to find, but somebody is giving you extra work to do.
Exactly.
Just for that small
There's a lot of work to do. You're getting it? Lot of work to do. This is just unnecessary. So therefore, what does suffering change? What does suffering change? And so that, okay, you eat a chocolate, and then the initial is good, and then becomes sad. What? You have the diabetes issue. All stories, and we don't know which is the suffering change. You're getting it? So there, answer that three of them gave. It's very precise, succinct. Any mundane happiness is suffering change, as simple as that. Any mundane happiness is suffering change. Any mundane happiness is suffering change, and what answer Alexei gave is correct. But the only thing is that he added many things extra. So, and then more precisely, the answer that he followed that up is very good. First, let's say any mundane happiness or suffering change. So for this, we need to know 2 things. We need to know 2 things. One is, how is it suffering? Number 1, how is suffering? You have to justify that. How is it suffering? Number 1. Number 2, why this word change is added? Why this qualifying word? Change, suffering of change. Why this word change is added to this? There are the 2 things that we need to know. Okay, with this in mind, suffering change. What is suffering change? Make it very simple. Any mundane happiness or any contaminated happiness is suffering change. And so for that, we have to know how is it suffering. And then once you know how is it suffering, why this word, the qualifying word, change is added. Okay, first, how is it suffering? This is what the Caden Omar said. And how is the suffering? Is because because it serves as a bait. What is a bait? Anyone? What is a bait? Anyone? What is a bait? Okay, how many of you don't know the word bait? Makes sense? Okay, how many of you know the word bait? Makes sense? How many of you know the word bait? Okay, Andrew, what is bait? Mike. Andrew, raise hand.
Bait is something enticing that lures you into a trap.
Bait is something like a fan.
Well, if you're attracted to fans, it could be.
Okay, fan can be bait. Oh, yes, in a way, yes. Usually, where do you use this word bait?
Usually, if people were fishing, they put bait on the hook.
So usually it is in form of food, let's say.
Yeah.
In the form of food, and what should be the attribute of this food?
It should be delicious.
Okay. So the mundane happiness is suffering because it is like a bait. What is a bait? Bait should have 2 qualities, so 2 attributes. Bait should have two characteristics. One is that it should be delicious. If it's not delicious, nobody will be attracted to this. It should be delicious. Number two, there should be hook behind it. You're getting it? If you see a food with the hook behind that, then would you be happy to go there? You will not go there. You're getting it? So therefore the hook is hidden. Hook is hidden. If the hook is so obvious, nobody will go there. Okay, how many have seen that in the, Animal Planet? Or nowadays, you don't really even watch the Animal Planet. In the WhatsApp, you're just getting it. So where they say people want to catch the animals or the birds, and they put a trap, put some food there, and what do these animals do? They get into and they come out instantly. Before they eat, they don't eat it first. They go there, come out. Again go there, come out to check if it's a bait or it's real lucky food. You're gonna get. The moment it senses some movement, it will stand over, run away, will leave the food behind. You getting it? So what are they checking? They're checking if this is real food or bait. You getting it? Okay. So once you know that this is a bait, then is this something which will pull you or it will push you? Then you realize that this is suffering. Okay. One common example which I give is that, okay, this is one thing that we need to think of. Say there are two prisoners, and the two prisoners are to be executed after 1 year. After 1 year. And prisoner A and prisoner B. And the prisoner A and B, they are handed over to the two prison guards, separate prisons, prison guards. So prison A and prison guard A. And prison guard A, what he does is that he first welcomes the prisoner A, and then what he did is that in the prison he made a swimming pool, and he brought Starbucks. He installed a Starbucks there, swimming pool, garden. Okay. So the prisoner A get into the prison. Wow, this is amazing, right? Even in my house, my parents' house, it's not like this. They don't have the garden. They don't have the Starbucks. Starbucks just for me. Yes, just for you. Right? Okay. Then in the mornings, the prison guard A comes. Prison guard A comes and says, "How are you today? You look so sad. You look so low. What happened? Come, don't feel sad. Come, let's have a cup of coffee, espresso. What, espresso or latte? A latte, cappuccino, right? A cappuccino. And you chat. You're so happy. And one day your mother comes. Hey, my son, my daughter, escape now. Run away, escape. Come to my place. Mom, do you have a swimming pool? Do you have a KFC? Not KFC. Not KFC, Starbucks. Hey, don't go to KFC. I'm checking whose faces smiled with KFC. Okay, don't run to KFCs, right? Okay, so the Starbucks. Do you have a Starbucks? Do you have the KFC? Do you have the swimming pool? Not KFC. Do you have the swimming pool? Do you have the garden? You don't have, right? Mom, you come here, join me. Okay, and prisoner B. Food, extremely bad food. No proper better sleep. And every morning the prison guard comes, knock at the door, ta, like this. And then they come out and he slaps you, right? This is how prisoner B was treated. Then, after 1 year, that they say closer to the end of completion of 1 year, two of them are to be brought to the execution place part. And of the two, one is disappeared. One has escaped. Tell me, which of the two most likely has escaped? Which of the two? A or B? A or B? Most likely B. Why B? Because A did not know that he was in prison. Prison got A, finally prison got A, the job of his job is, it doesn't matter what money, expenses, his job is to make sure that the prisoner does not escape. And the prisoner B, he was constantly reminded that you are in prison, you are not in a paradise, you are in prison. Right? Constantly slapped, no food, hard labor work, constantly reminded, and he got 1 year to plan. 1 year to plan to run away from the prison. So then the prisoner A, look, prisoner A does for almost for 1 year, for 11 months, prisoner A was chilling out, so happy. Then the last day comes to discover that prisoner B has escaped. Prisoner B has escaped. Now, he was so angry towards the prison guard A, swimming pool, Starbucks, the garden. He became so angry. They trapped me. They lured me. Lured me meaning deceived me. They lured me, deceived me. Now I'm going to die because of them. Now look at this prisoner B. He already escaped. And I am left because of this, because no reminder that I'm in prison. You getting it? Okay. Now at that point, prisoner A, would he appreciate the swimming pool, the Starbucks, the garden in the prison A? Would he appreciate or not? He will not appreciate. He will see them as bait, trap. You getting it? Trap. So before that, he appreciated. Before that, he appreciated as very fortunate, so good. Now he discovered the reality that he does not appreciate it. He says that these are the bays, and he will feel so angry towards them. You getting it? So angry towards them. So this is the meaning of suffering change, which appears so pleasant, but in actuality is a bait. Okay. So we are all in samsara. We are all in samsara. And samsara is a very painful place. And why we are staying in samsara? Why we are staying in samsara? Because nobody comes with a gun for us to stay in samsara. Why we are staying in samsara? So samsara is where the suffering is so manifest. Suffering. Everybody has to go through sickness, aging, death, separation from near and dear ones, and so forth. Everybody's. While this is a situation, still we are in samsara. Why? Because of the suffering change. Because of the suffering change, mundane happiness, that traps us there. Okay, now how many got the understanding of suffering change? Raise hands. Yes. So now all the mundane happiness is suffering change because it has two elements. One is it is suffering. Number two, it has the quality, it has the attribute of the changing. Changing, why the word change is used? Although it looks so pleasant, but in actuality, it is suffering. It is suffering because it is a bait. Number two, why the word change is used is that it has the potential. Although it looks like so pleasant, it has the potential to take us to change that into suffering. It has the potential to change into suffering. Excessive exposure, for example, like let's say that. Okay, how many like momos? Raise hands. Momos, Sergey. Okay, yes. Jimmy. We like momos. Veg, non-veg. Don't say non-veg. But very good. But in momos. Okay. So the momos. Okay. So let's say that Jimmy, when is your birthday?
6th of
6th of March. Okay, 5th of March will all come to give you a paneer momo. Right? Hey, remember, 5th of March will come with a paneer momo to you. 50 pieces. The first piece you like, go second piece, 10th piece, 20th.
I still have space in the stomach.
No, you know your stomach. 30th piece? No way. 50th piece? No way. Okay, let's listen. First piece, very good. 50th one, you don't like it. Okay, now we change the two momos. First momo, keep it the 50th. 50th momo, first momo, keep it last. Because you like the first momo. Keep it last. You eat second momo, third, and then it comes to like 20, 25. Then when you say no, then I'll give you the first one. Good, not good? Not good. Okay, how many agree? Good. Now, earlier what you see as so delicious now has changed into misery. You getting it? Now the first moment is brought. No, please take it away. Then it's a punishment. You're getting it? Okay. So however nice it is, with excessive exposure to that, it'll change into suffering of suffering. So what is the, for example, you take the first momo, then you keep eating it, then somebody push you to eat the 50th momo, then it's a punishment. So first you say first you feel it enjoyable, then change to suffering, manifest suffering. Okay, don't mix up all these things. First moment of enjoying the momo, that itself is suffering change. You getting it? That itself suffering change, and it's only then somebody will ask you, how is it suffering? Because it is a. How is it suffering? Because it is a bait. You getting it? Why the word change is used? Because if you are exposed to this, if you take it, if you keep using this, or keep engaging in this, then it'll change into suffering of suffering. You're getting it? So don't just bring the whole thing. Okay. What is the third one? Hey, what's the third one? Pervasive conditioned suffering. Okay, those of us who are new, write this down. Third suffering, pervasive conditioned suffering. Pervasive conditioned suffering. Okay. To know this, we need to know three things. Number one, first we have to know what is pervasive conditioned suffering. Examples like what? Once you have the examples, with the help of these examples, then our job is to explain how it is suffering, number one. And then why it is known as pervasive. Why is it known as conditioned and suffering? Okay, so this is what we know. What examples do we have for the suffering of pervasive conditioned suffering? Okay, I'm quickly give you some examples. One, involuntary birth in samsara. Involuntary birth in samsara. Involuntary birth in samsara. Number one, involuntary birth in samsara. Okay, number two, being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions. Being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions. Number three, number two, being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions. And number three, the contaminated neutral feelings. Contaminated neutral feelings. And then the worst one is being under the control of self-grasping ignorance. Being under the control of self-grasping ignorance. This is the worst. Okay, number one, what is that? The first example that I gave you is involuntary birth in samsara. Number one, involuntary birth in samsara. Number two, being under the control of contaminated karmas and afflictions. Number 3, contaminated neutral feelings. Number 4, being under control of self-grasping ignorance. Very good. Okay. The first, let us explore why these are known as the pervasive conditioned suffering. Why the word pervasive is added? Why the word what? Conditioned is added, and how are they suffering? How are they suffering? Okay. So the first, let me first explain this is how they are suffering. This is what we need to learn, how they are suffering. Okay. In fact, of the three sufferings, what are they? Suffering, change, pervasive conditioned suffering. Of the three, there is their own, each one of them have the distinctive features. Suffering is what makes us feel so painful. What makes us so painful? Suffering. What makes everybody feel so painful? Then suffering change is the one, in order to pull you into suffering change lures you. It lures you. It deceives you and bring you into, right? Underground. There are many of these things happening underground. You're getting it? Say some people are lured by money and so forth and brought down in the hands of the underground people underground, gangsters. And then you go into suffering. Terrible suffering. Initially lured by the suffering change and then lured there. This is what is happening. Very sad. Okay, now this mechanism, how this suffering change is taking us into suffering, and what is the mechanism? How suffering is coming? How suffering change is happening? So mechanism, there's a mastermind behind. There's a mastermind. For example, like say, which year was that? The Mumbai terrorist attack. 2008. Okay, 2008 Mumbai terrorist attack. And then I think about like 1 year later or 2 years later or 3 years later, the boy Kasab, the terrorist, he was executed. Today he was executed, and the next day it came on the newspaper. And I read the newspaper, and the newspaper said that people in Delhi, they are dancing in the street over the execution of this boy. People dancing on the street. Okay. Now, so some people dancing in the street, and some people in the office, the intelligence service people, would they be very happy that Kasab is finished off? They are not happy. Right? Whereas people on the street, they're dancing, they're very happy. They think that now the terrorist is gone. But the people who are hunting the terrorist, they are not happy because this is just a tool. This boy is just a tool. The mastermind is not there. Mastermind is still hiding. As long as the mastermind is not arrested, this mastermind is going to produce 10 kasabs, 100 kasabs, 1,000 kasabs. You getting it? You agree? You agree? So who's worse? Kasab is the worst, or the mastermind is worst? Mastermind is worse. And whose decision is more profound? The one who's dancing in the street, or one who's sitting in the office and thinking how to arrest the mastermind? Whose decision is more profound? One's in the office. Because what they are doing is to really uproot the terrorism. But there's only the streets dancing. So they don't know all these things. They're just on the surface. You getting it? So therefore, suffering is like the kasab with the gun. Right? Everybody's scared. There is suffering. And suffering changes like somebody coming with chocolates and lure you into this. There's suffering change. And the pervasive condition suffering is like the mastermind behind all these the terrorists. The mastermind. Okay. So with this, let's say that how many of you have your immediate boss? You have a tough time with the immediate boss. Raise hands. How many of you had, not necessarily have had both? Tough time with your immediate boss. Okay. So our IT staff, he's putting his head down. Right? He's not raising his head. Right? Okay, he don't want to say no comment. Right? So he's saying no comment. Okay. The raise hands those with the tough, immediate, your immediate boss, very tough. Tough time with the immediate boss. Sajjanla, you also. In the past. And Ravindra also. Ravindra, IT staff, he pretends as though he's not hearing. Okay. Okay. So let's say that you have the immediate boss and your boss, the main boss. Right? So your immediate boss is so tough on you. And that every time you go there and you said, good morning, sir. Not only sir, sometimes it's ma'am also. Not only sir. Surgeon is ma'am or sir? Is ma'am, yeah. So it's not always sir. Right? Even the ma'am's also sometimes tough. Okay. So good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Right? And then the first thing that he or she does is look at the watch. What is this? 5 minutes late. You getting it? 5 minutes late. And no smile. Right? And then for small reasons scold you. So badly scold you. Okay. Then every time, the moment you get into the office campus, you just feel like you're aging twice fast. Right? Okay. Then the main boss comes, CEO comes and says, hey, Chuskit. No. Chuskit, right? You ever in job? No job. Never in job. Study, still study. Chimit? No job. Pamela? Job. Hey, Pema, right? Hey, look, CEO comes. Your boss, main boss comes. Pema, what happened? You look so sad today, right? Oh, my immediate boss, he scolded me. Don't be sad. If you have any problem, come to me. Let's go to have a cup of tea, right? And to you for a cup of tea, chat, how are you doing? And in future, if you have any problem from your boss, let me know, right? So Pamela is so happy. So happy. Okay, now next time, my boss, I'll report him directly to the CEO, right? And one day, Pamela, you happen to pass by the CEO's office, and CEO is shouting at somebody in his office. He's not seeing you, you're not seeing him. And he's shouting at somebody, and somebody's saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Who's that? Yes, sir, yes, ma'am? Your boss. Your immediate boss is saying, yes, sir, sorry, right? What is sorry? That you have been treating Pema so leniently. You have to be more tough. You're getting it. And then Pamela is shocked. Oh, I thought the CEO was so good, so gentle. My boss being nasty to me is because of the CEO. Now I realize. Next time the CEO comes, would you be happy? Not happy. You're getting, because he's the mastermind behind your boss treating you badly. You're getting it? Why the suffering is torturing you? Why the pervasive suffering? Why the, what is that? Suffering change is luring you. It's because of the mastermind, which is pervasive condition suffering. You're getting it? Because you are involuntary took birth in samsara, right? Hey, listen. Because, how many of you came into earth by choice? By choice. No choice. We came involuntary birth. The moment we came on the earth involuntarily, what happens then? The whole door of you are welcome into the samsara. How? First, your parents will celebrate happy birthday to you. Celebrate. That is suffering change. Celebrate. Everybody will come. What is that? Baby shower. What is that? Baby shower, right? Right. Oh. Hey, gentlemen, your name? Your name? You. Yes. Rixen, and behind you? Oh, Chingmela's born. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And people invited. That is suffering change, right? You're invited. Welcome to the suffering. Welcome to sickness, welcome to aging, welcome to death. Right? Come, welcome. And then you become sick, and the parents cry. Okay, how many of you have seen when the child is sick, then the parents cry? How many have seen that? Raise hands. Parents cry. When the child becomes sick, when you become sick, your parents cry. So you came on planet Earth to give tears to your parents. Parents cry. Okay. Then they say you ask for teddy bear. Right? And the parents sometimes may not give you, you're very sad, you sulk. And then parents give you a very happy, this is. And you say what? A for apple, B for ball. Parents say, wow, so good. And go to school, children bully you, seniors, they bully you, right? So this is the world that we introduce. And then you end up with all the miseries, one after the other, waiting for you. All the miseries, terrible miseries waiting for you. And then finally, class 12 finished. Class 12 finished. I'm going to become doctor. I'm going to become IAS officer. UPSC exam. Get there, and then the struggling, tension, stress, right? And then the cut off 98, and you got 88, not getting there, and then NEET exam. Yes, Durga? NEET exam, and tears, right? And then the moment other people come, you remove the tears, and then you're in your room, you cry. Right? So IAS officer here. Though it's lucky if you get it, okay, not get it, okay. Nowadays, very competitive. When I see the young boys and girls saying, I'm applying for UPSC, it makes me in tension. It gives me tension. I feel the tension. I feel the tension myself when I see the tears in this girl. It gives me tears in myself. Okay, this is where your parents welcome to the world. You're getting it? Involuntary birth. That is the driving force for all these suffering and suffering change. Okay. So, then what? Involuntary, being under the control of contaminant comes afflictions. And why we are going through this stress, anxiety? Why you don't get the MBBS very easily? Why you don't get, if you are a daughter of, okay, if you're a daughter of Obama, right? Obama sent a letter to Prime Minister Modi. My daughter is coming. Dorji is coming. Give the seat, MBBS seat. Wow, we are so honored. You're getting it. Dorji, welcome. Choose which, right? LH. Yes, Dorji, you know where is LH? You don't know. Okay. LH is one, the lady Hareng. You don't even know that. You're crying, you're not getting a seat. Okay, so what do you want? LH or the aims? What do you want? Right? Professor Modi will welcome you. You're getting it? So you have taken in the wrong birth, but don't blame your parents. You came, right? You came. So this is known as the under control of contaminant karma's afflictions. You getting it? Okay. So what is next? Neutral feelings. Neutral feelings. Oh, well, contaminated, not just neutral feelings, contaminated neutral feelings. Okay, this we'll discuss a little later. Anybody who likes to remind me of what this is, because I may forget it. Anyone? Raise hands. Okay, here, Chinzamla. Okay, Pamela, 3. I need 5. Quick, 2 more. Rahul and Chetan. Okay, 5 of them. You should remind me how contaminated neutral feelings are the pervasive conditions of suffering. And finally, the worst is being under the control of the self-grasping ignorance. Okay, who likes to remind me of that? This also, we cannot do it at the moment. Chiskit, you want to remind me? 1. Anyone else? 2. Jigme? Divansh. Okay, so 3 of them will remind me of that. Okay, with this in mind, next is, okay, Pamela is reminding, Pamela Yangchen is reminding me, look at this, 5 minutes left. Yes, Pamela, look at this, Pamela. Yes. Okay, now, why are these known as pervasive? Why are they known as conditioned? Most important thing is the first, how they are suffering. I explained to you, they welcomed you to the world of suffering, the mastermind. And who is worse? Okay, Jimala or Pamela, who's worse? Your immediate boss or the CEO? CEO, you're getting, he's the mastermind. He's the mastermind. Okay, so because of the mastermind for all the miseries, that is known as suffering. That's the worst of the suffering. Okay, number 1. Now next, pervasive. Okay, look, this is very important. Now comes what Alex said. What Alex said, and what this lady Angelica. What Angelica and Alex said. Now they're coming, and what they summarized by Kate and Omar. Okay, now comes this. So why this pervasive condition suffering is given the label pervasive. Why? Pervasive. Why? Pervasive means which spreads across. That's the meaning of pervasive. What do I mean by spread across? I'll explain this here. Say that the whole samsara is grouped into 3 categories. Whole samsara is grouped into 3 categories known as 3 realms. Whole samsara is divided into 3 realms. The first one is desire realm, second one is form realm, and third one is formless realm. Desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. 3. Desire realm. So what's the meaning of each one of them? Very quickly, to quickly explain this, desire realm is the realm where the beings take birth there, the beings who are driven by desire for sensual objects. Desire for those beings who are driven by desire for sensual objects, 5 sensual objects. Those beings who are driven by desire for 5 sensual objects, they take birth. That place is known as desire realm. Realm where the beings who are driven by desire for 5 sensual objects have taken birth. Let me repeat it. The realm where the beings who are driven by desire for 5 sensual objects, they are born. That is known as desire realm. Now, so that is the beings who are driven by external attractions, external. And there is another class of beings. who through training, they see that external is too gross, and internal is very peaceful. So there's a class of the beings who are driven inside for meditation, inside the meditative concentrations. So those beings who come to a high realization, those beings then they take birth in the form and the formless realm. And formless realm, we see that on the formless realm, of course, these are the beings whose meditative experience, internal meditative experience, they're more profound in comparison with those who took birth in the formed realm. Form and formless. Form realm again divided into four. Form realm divided into four easy. Form realm divided into four easy. They are known as first concentration, second concentration level, third concentration level, fourth concentration level. Very easy. 4 concentration levels are there. These are 4 divisions of the form realm. Now formless realm. Formless realm is divided into 4. Okay, this is a little technical. You have to note it down and remember. The formless realm divided into 4. The first one is infinite space. Infinite space. Number 2, infinite consciousness. Infinite consciousness. Infinite space is Namkwa Taye. In Tibetan, Namkwa Taye. Oladag, Yisamdula. Namkwa Tayes. Yes, Namkwa Tayes. Then the number 2 is infinite consciousness. Namshas Tayes. Namshas Tayes. Okay. The number 2 is infinite consciousness. Namshas Tayes. And then number 3 is vacuity. Chiame. Chiame sim. Number 3, chiame. Vacuity. Vacuity. How to spell it? V-A-C-U-I-T-Y. Vacuity. And then finally, the peak of existence. The peak of existence. Sitse. Sitse. Ritse. Ritse. Okay. The peak of existence. 4. Infinite space, infinite consciousness, vacuity, and peak of existence. 4. Okay. Now, on the just remember this. That's good enough. Now the next is why the masterminds of all suffering, why they are referred to as the pervasive, conditioned suffering. We already explained why they are known as pervasive. Okay, let's quickly work on this, and then we'll stop here. The first, that the suffering does not exist in all the 3 realms. Suffering exists only in the desire realm. So therefore, it's not pervasive. It is not pervasive across the 3 realms. Suffering exists only in desire realm. Suffering exists only in desire realm. Number 2, suffering of change. Suffering of change is also not pervasive because it exists in desire realm and in the first 3 form realms. In the first 3 form realms, that is suffering of change. So therefore, suffering of change is also not pervasive. Number 3, involuntary birth. Where does it exist? Which of the 3 realms? All 3. So therefore, involuntary birth is pervasive across the 3 realms. So, likewise, all the other things, like what? Being under the control of contaminant karmas afflictions, again, is pervasive, all 3 realms. Then, contaminated neutral feelings, again, all 3 realms. And then finally, being under the control of self-grasping ignorance, again, all 3 realms. So, in other words, pervasive conditioned suffering is known as pervasive because these exist across the 3 realms, meaning in all the 3 realms. Whereas suffering change exists where? Only in desire realm. And Suffering change exists where? Okay, what did you say? Suffering exists where? Only in desire. Don't just say desire realm. You're getting it? Say only in desire. Make it very succinct, very precise. Suffering exists only in desire realm. Suffering change exists in, yes, desire realm and the first three form realms. Very good. First three form, that is suffering of change. And the third one, pervasive conditions suffering exists in all three realms. Very good. Okay. So with this, let me add one more. That is, suffering is the result of non-virtues. Because suffering exists only in the desire realm, non-virtue exists only in desire realm. Non-virtue exists only in desire realm. Suffering exists only in desire realm, non-virtue exists only in desire realm. One. Okay. Next, what is next? Suffering change. Okay, now this is what Alex and Angelica and Kate and Omar, what they said, that suffering change is the result of contaminated virtues. Suffering change is the result of contaminated virtues. You getting it? Don't forget it. Although it is that the suffering change, it is mundane happiness. Happiness is good. There's nothing wrong in it. But the only thing is that it serves as a lure. We can fall prey to attachment. That's the problem. So, which is better? Suffering is better, or suffering change is better? Of course, you're not going to say the immediate, for example, good health is better or ill health is better. Good health is better. Good health is a form of suffering change. When you're good health, you feel egoistic, right? And then the moment you suffer, you have ill health, then again your sense of confidence drops. Okay, so, but the good health can be used productively. It can be used productively. And for many of them, this good health can become like a basis for the ego, the pride, for some people. Okay, so let's keep in mind that's what is that? Suffering is caused by non-virtues. Suffering change is caused by contaminated virtues. And pervasive condition suffering itself is the cause. So the root is the pervasive condition suffering itself is the mastermind, which means the ultimate cause. Mastermind, so that itself is the form of the suffering, in the form of the cause, and more precisely rooted to the self-grasping ignorance. Okay, so with this we stop here. So we discuss about what? All contaminated things are suffering nature. So here we see contaminated things are suffering nature, three kinds of suffering, and how sufferings are given rise to by what contamination. What contamination? Say suffering given rise to by the contamination in the form of, hey, what happened? People are excited to leave. Okay, suffering, caused by the contamination in the form of non-virtues. Suffering change caused by the contamination in the form of contaminated virtues. And pervasive condition suffering immediate causes self-grasping ignorance. In other words, they say, let's keep it there, otherwise it can complicate us more. Okay, so let's not forget, this is what is known as the all contaminated things out of suffering nature. Okay, done. So next says that, okay, if this is very scary, so therefore, of the three sufferings, for us, how many of you would agree with me that the suffering is something which we all agree, which we will all know, and which we all shun? Raise hands. Suffering, something which we all know and we shun. We stay away from that. Suffering change is something which we know, but we don't know that is suffering. We see that as happiness. Raise your hands. Good. Then pervasive conditioned suffering, we even don't know its existence. For example, involuntary birth, we can just infer. We do not know that we are coming. You're getting it? And then we are moved by contaminants, afflictions. We're not aware. And then being under the dictate of self-grasping ignorance, we have no idea. You getting it? So, suffering, we know, we experience, plus we experience that as suffering. Two things. Suffering change, we know, we experience, but we don't know that as suffering. Suffering, pervasive conditions, forget about knowing it is suffering. We don't know its existence. That we are under the sway of the pervasive condition suffering. We don't. So now, when the Buddha taught, this is the truth of suffering. When the Buddha taught this is truth of suffering, Acharya Dharmakirti, whose name this morning I mentioned, Acharya Dharmakirti in his text Pramana Vartika said that when the Buddha taught this is truth of suffering, Buddha refers to the third one. You getting it? So with the first, if you feel renunciation, with the first one, it's not the real renunciation. This is escapism. Okay, some people, they think, oh, at home, it's so complicated. Now I want to leave everything and I want to go to a place where nobody knows me. How many of you heard this many times, Resents? So that is escapism. You're getting it? It is trying to run away from suffering. Okay. Suffering change. Only few people understand that as suffering. So therefore, these people will take birth in form and formless realm, not in desire realm. Then those who understand the pervasive conditioned suffering, that is soulless. Those people who are fed up with the pervasive conditioned suffering, that is the real renunciation. The real renunciation is wanting to get away from the involuntary birth, wanting to get away from the influence of the contaminants afflictions, wanting to get away from self-grasping ignorance. These people, that is a real renunciation. Okay, we stop here. Okay, conditions. Yeah, thank you. Why conditioned? Conditioned that, okay, now it's pretty easy. Conditioned because that we don't have the freedom to decide where to go, where to take birth. It's somewhere unmoving. We're conditioned by something. What is that? Self-grasping ignorance, contaminants, afflictions. They are deciding where I should be taking, where I should be moving. So we're conditioned by these two, mastermind. Okay. So with this mind dedication prayer, page 52. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas so 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May all lives through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield-leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized, blinded by ignorance. Agye tuje shage re so cho shenge me to de mo jong ba se ge bo ta bo je be ko sha ge bo ke la cha se lo Muni Muni Maha Munaya Swaha Om Muni Muni Maha Munaya Swaha Tavge tuje shage so shen monjomba serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye gebo kela cha se lo oh mone mone ma mona swaha Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha Tavge tuje Shage so Shenge Mito Dege Bonjamba Serge Lumbo Tabo Jebe Ko Shage Gebo Kyola Chase Oh Mone Mone Mahamunaya Swaha Om Mone Mone Mahamunaya Swaha Om Mone Mone Mahamunaya Swaha Om Mone Mone Mahamunaya Swaha. Okay, 3 processions.